Oh, I don't have a joke. That's probably a good thing. Um, because I butchered the ones on Tuesday. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I think I was going to edit those out too. So I have a Polish friend. He's a sound technician for a band. And he's Polish. I have a Czech one too. Czech one too. That's dumb even to me. All right, we're in a seated pose. Welcome to Yoga for Everyday Endurance Athletes. It is gorgeous in Milwaukee today. Just got off my bicycle after a long ride, and I am looking forward to doing some yoga here tonight. So let's get our breath through our nose, into our belly, and then back out through our nose. It is, by the way, a really good tool for runners and cyclists. It's cross-country skiers, people who do endurance work, is that you know that you are in a good aerobic zone if you can breathe out of your nose. And that's one of the benefits of doing this kind of breath work, is practice breathing in and out through your nose and into your belly. So if you could stay breathing through your nose, you are in the right effort zone for aerobic work. So today we are going to do a little bit of warrior, a little bit of plank, what do they call it? Plank waves. And a goddess, bear pose, and just doing some random kind of strength work. All right, and we're going to roll forward into a child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together, sit your butt back towards your heels. Reach forward onto your mat. Whoa, my toes are going to be cramping. That's a weird feeling when your feet cramp. All right, so the inhale is to lift up your torso a little bit, and the exhale is to sink your torso down so that your torso is more flat, if that's possible, so that there's a straighter line. Your spine is straighter. So that means that you're rotating your hips on the exhale, bottoms up, so that the bottom of your hips comes up and the tops of your hip goes down. And at the same time, you're trying to bring your collarbones closer to the mat. So it's inhale, lift up your torso, and exhale, straighten your torso and drop it. So you'll feel this obviously in your shoulders, but you also will feel it at the top of your hamstrings into your glutes. You may feel it other places too. All right, let's roll up, and we're going to come into a puppy pose just to work our shoulders a little bit more. And in puppy pose, your knees are in the same place they just were, and I'm going to scroll back a little bit, or scooch back. And you're going to leave your knees and your hips just where they are and extend your hands. So that means that you're going to be able to come down a little bit lower with your collarbones and create more of a back bend, which is what we're trying to do. So this is puppy pose. And if ever you are unable to do downward dogs, puppy pose is a good alternative. However, if your shoulders are a challenge, this may be a bit of a challenge. And if so, you can always have your hands wide. You can have your hands narrow. You can bring your elbows to the mat. Anything that you need to do to extend your back, that's the key. You're trying to bring your collarbones closer to the mat on the exhale. All right, and let's curl your back toes under, your back toes, curl your toes under, and let's roll up to a downward dog this time. You got front toes and back toes, don't you? Inhale, come up on your tiptoes, and exhale, sink one heel down at a time. And then the other heel down at a time. So next exhale, maybe both heels down. Next exhale, maybe try to bring your collarbones down a little bit farther. Good. Let's inhale. Look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward into forward fold. And inhale into a half lift. Exhale into a forward fold. And then inhale all the way up into a mountain. And then we're going to come straight back down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, get your hands on the mat and walk your feet back to a plank. And we're just going to hold this for a moment. And we're going to do one plank wave. So we'll inhale, and on the exhale, push yourself back to a downward dog. Inhale, and when you exhale, roll it forward, back to a plank. And that's a plank wave. And then we'll inhale, exhale, push back to a downward dog, and now we'll get into our warriors. Let's inhale, bring your right foot up into the air, and bring it forward on the exhale, drop your back heel, and we're gonna come into a warrior two. So in warrior two, you know the drill. Line up your heels, knee over your ankle, stretch out your arms. So it's easy to be leaning your torso forward, but think about the weight on your back foot too. So inhale and relax, maybe straighten your leg a little bit. And exhale, sink into this pose. You can think about your hands having two swords or a sword and a shield. And it's a power pose where you're ready for battle. I don't know, because you are. That's what the name of the pose comes from, is that you are going into a fight. It's a great story. Blood and gore, and unrequited love. Parents not letting young lovers be together. But of course, one of the lovers is a god who gets really pissed off. All right, here we go. We're going to inhale now and come back into a reverse warrior. Drop your left hand, bring your right hand up. Inhale, come back, exhale, reach back with your arm and tilt over. It's kind of like you're trying to bring your left shoulder towards your left knee. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But that's the direction that you're trying to bend your torso. So you're creating this whole right side body opening. Inhale and then reach back and lean sideways. Good. All right, now we're going to inhale, we're going to roll forward and come into a side angle. So your right hand is going to come down along your shin. Your elbow goes inside of your knee, and your left hand is going up. So this is a close cousin to triangle. The only difference is that in triangle, your leg is straight, and side angle, your knee is bent. That's it. The inhale is to drop your left shoulder and arm. The exhale is to reach it up. Open yourself up. And maybe you can even drop your torso a little bit. Keep breathing, opening yourself up on the exhale. Good, nice, looks good. All right, good. Now we're gonna cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Bring your right foot back into a downward dog. And again, tiptoes on the inhale, scooch back, and on the exhale, heels down, one at a time or both. All right, now it's inhale, getting your left leg up into the air, bring it forward into a warrior two. I'm just gonna shift position here. All right, warrior two, same deal now. Left knee over your left ankle. Check your heels that they're relatively in a straight line. You can kind of check they're in the middle of the mat. Feel the weight on your back leg. Good. The inhale, I mean, you can open up your shoulders a little bit, and exhale, try to reach down. The inhale can be to relax your arms, and the exhale can be to stretch them out. The inhale can be straightening your front leg and then reaching both directions. It can simply be relaxing your hands and then reaching them out. Take a quick check back to see if your arm is relatively at shoulder level. Bring your shoulder blades back. There you go. All right, we're gonna inhale, drop your right hand, lift your left hand up into reverse warrior. And again, we're trying now to bring my right shoulder to my right knee. And exhale and reach back. Good. Couple more breaths. Exhale, reach back. Try to keep that same bend in your side. Now we're going to rotate, cartwheel your hands inside. So now your left elbow is going inside of your left knee. And we're coming into side angle. So again, inhale is a drop of your right shoulder. The exhale is to lift it up. You can try to look at your right hand as well. And that kind of helps rotate your shoulders a little bit. But that's the key, is to feel like you're rotating your shoulders. And your right one is rolling back on the exhale. Then focus on inhaling into your belly and rolling back. Good. All right, we're going to cartwheel down to the mat, come back into a downward dog, and we're going to do that all over again, just a lot faster. All right, let's inhale, right leg up in the air, bring it forward into a warrior two. Not going to rotate this time. Inhale and reach. Inhale this time, exhale into a reverse warrior. So it's just like a breath and a half. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale, rotate into a side angle. Inhale, cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Bring your right foot back into a downward dog. Good. Inhale your left foot up. Bring it forward into a warrior two. Inhale, exhale, and reach. Inhale, and now bring your left hand up in the air into reverse warrior. Inhale, torso up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, torso up, come down into side angle. Good. And inhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Bring your left foot back into a downward dog. Inhale and look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. All the way up into a mountain. Hands together. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your side. Nice. All right. So we're going to come into a couple of strength poses for our hips and legs, but also for our torso, as you will see. So the first will be a goddess pose. So bring your feet wide, bring in your heels so that your toes are pointing out and your heels are in. Bring your arms up to cactus hands. Your hands are spread apart. And there's a lot of different ways you can do things with your hands. You can have an eagle, but we're just going to have cactus hands. We're going to sink our butt back like we do in chair. It's like a wide stance chair. Now we're just going to come down. So we're feeling this in our glutes, the side of our glutes, we're in our thighs, and like chair, we're leaving it in our lower back. Inhale up, exhale back. Try to bring your elbows back as far as they will go. Good. All right, inhale and then come up. Now, bear pose. It's going to be like doing a chair. It's getting warm in here. If I pass out, you'll know why. It's like doing a chair with a wide stance. So bring your feet wide and then sink back into a chair. Bring your hands up in the air. Okay, so now you can feel all the work in your torso as we're reaching forward, but we're sitting back. There's a lot of pressure on our glutes right now. Inhale, just reach your hands, sit your hips back. So you're trying to create as much space between your hands and your butt as you possibly can. We'll do just one more breath. Exhale, good. Now inhale, bring your hands to the mat, walk your feet back into a downward dog. Holy bologna, that's a lot of work on our booty. All right, inhale, come up on your tiptoes. Exhale, sink yourself down. All right, now we're going to do some plank waves and we're going to do a bunch of variations on them so you can choose what works for you. So you may have to move your feet a little bit from downward dog depending on your body shape and length of torso and legs and stuff. So the inhale is going to be simply coming up and then the exhale is going to roll to a plank. This is where you'll figure out where your feet should be. And then we'll inhale once. Exhale, inhale, and on the exhale, push back to a plank. Inhale. Now, an exhale, we'll do this one more time. Inhale, and then exhale down to a plank. Now, if you need to be on your knees, you can do so. This is where puppy pose comes in as well, or child's pose, and you can do the same thing. So it's whatever works for you here. Okay, we're going to roll forward. Inhale, roll forward. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can then also roll into a Cobra. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and then curl your toes, and then push back into a downward dog. And that's where the challenge comes in, is that last part. It's pushing from a Cobra to a downward dog. All right, we'll do that again. Inhale, on the exhale, roll forward. You can just hang out here in plank. Inhale, or you can exhale down into a Cobra or an upward facing dog, which is on the tops of your feet and your knees are off the ground. Inhale, and then exhale back, roll your toes over and come into a downward dog. We're going to do one more, and then we'll be on the mat. Inhale, and the exhale, roll forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale down to a Cobra or an upward facing dog. Inhale back to a downward dog. And then bring your knees to the mat. We're doing a time. Perfect. And we're going to come into a locust pose. So on your belly, chin down, hands at your side. And in locust, we're going to have a bunch of stops along the way, I guess, depending on what you can manage. So the first thing you'll do is lift your chin and your shoulders off the mat. You can bring your hands off the mat. At any point, you can stop and lift your chest off the mat. Then you can lift your feet off the mat and then your knees. All right, so this is locust. When you breathe into your belly, you're rolling back and forth. So you're squeezing your booty, you're squeezing your lower back, your hamstrings are working. And relax. Come on down to your left cheek. So we'll do that again. If you want to this time, you can clasp your hands together in a bind. Makes it a little bit easier to bring your shoulder backs together, but it makes it a little bit harder to hold everything up. All right, inhale. Come up as you want to. So now I'm just pulling my shoulder blades together, lifting my hands up. And you can come down onto your right cheek this time. All right, so now the last version of this, and we've done these before, is doing a superhero as if we were flying. And in superhero, so you can do a regular locust, you can have your hands behind your, in a bind, or reach forward with your arms and lift them up. So inhale, and then lift everything up. You can bring your hands to your side if that's too much, out to the side. It's kind of however you want to fly in the air. Obviously, your hands all the way forward is a little bit more hard, a little more difficult. Inhale, one more. Good, all right. We're gonna roll back into a child's pose, like we started, just to kind of counterbalance what we were just doing. My toes are still cramping. Such a strange feeling. Inhale, relax. And exhale, reach, straighten our back. Good, let's roll up into a seated position. All right, that was good. That was a good work today. Bring your hands to your side. Inhale and bring your arms up. Scoop up the good energy. Bring your hands together. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So all the good energy is inside of you now that you can bring to others. Thank you for joining us today. Namaste. If you want more information, as always, on Simple Endurance Coaching, go to the website, simpleendurancecoaching.com, for more information on yoga, strength training, and coaching for endurance sports. We'll see you later.